Detroit really got away with one, and I don't mean this in a negative way. I mean everybody died, and we still got the win. Here's an interesting comment and a very insightful one. Lions dodged a bullet on the Sam Laporta, but Lee McNeil being out 4 games sucks. Tim Patrick promoted to the 53-man roster, and Frank Ragnow, man, he's his own worst enemy. I think he meant worse, so I read it as worst. Yeah, a lot of injuries coming out of this game. Frank Ragnow, he's going to be, I think, day to day or week to week. I can't remember. You already mentioned Lee McNeil. He's day to day. At least last I heard, you said 4 games. So maybe if there was an update on that. Sam Laporta, he's day to day. Brian Branch is day to day. Derek Barnes is week to week. Marcus Davenport out for the year. I mean, we really got beat up in this game, and that is concerning. However, the alleviating factor of all of this is we do have a Monday night game. So in that respect, we're not like we have a longer turnaround, right? And after this Monday night game, we have the bye week. And it's funny looking back and be like, oh man, we have this early bye week. This sucks. The schedule hates us. And it's like, oh, actually, that early bye week might be our best friend because we're getting beat up very, very early. And we need this. Got put on the injured list. Oh, okay. So he's just put on the IL or the IR. Okay. So he's out 4 games. Now, look, and the fact is, the Lions fan, Doomer Lions fans, I should say, are going to say this is the beginning of the end. And what I'll say is this. It's a week-to-week league, and everybody gets hurt. There is no such thing as going into an NFL game healthy. Because if you enter the NFL game healthy, guarantee you won't exit it healthy. I guarantee you. And there's no reason for us to have to rush guys like McNeil, like Laporta, and frankly like Ragnow. Because, look, we're a damn good football team. I care about them in December and January. I don't really care about them in the month of September and early October. Like, obviously, I want them to be healthy the whole time. I want to win every game by 30, right? I'm the biggest homer there is. I hope on Monday night they knock the doors off of Seattle. But I know it realistically, if I use my logic and my reason, I know that it's probably going to be, a close game because these are 2 NFL teams and that's just what it is. Now, on the game itself, the defense, straight up, no jokes here. This is straight up one of the best defenses I've seen in a very long time for the Lions. And it's one of the best defenses in the league right now. And I don't think it's being talked about as much. This defense hasn't allowed more than 20 points a game. Just this past week, they held Kyler Murray to 207 yards in the air, 1 touchdown, 77 total rushing yards. That's the entire team. Leading rusher was Kyler Murray, by the way. So, James Conner, did you even play? And Marvin Harrison Jr., the chosen one, the divine savior. He's a really good receiver, by the way. He was able to just 64 yards. Oh, and by the way, our first-round corner was the guy who locked him down for most of the game. Like, this defense is built. Like, Aaron Glenn deserves nothing but apologies and slander. Like all the slander that was given to him, he needs a written apology from everybody, myself included, in a way, because it had been basically 3 seasons where this defense was awful, where they were giving up big plays, where they were giving up yards, all of it. And last year, we kind of saw something of the signs of good things to come, especially near the end. But overall in the year, they couldn't run the ball. And now it's looking like they might even have struggle passing the ball. Because this might sound kind of stupid. The fact that Aiden Hutchinson was able to get a sack on Kyler Murray told me everything I need to know about this defensive line. Like, this defensive line, no shot in hell they would have been able to get to Kyler Murray last year. I mean, you saw it last year. They couldn't get to Mahomes. They couldn't get to Geno Smith. They barely could get to Brock Purdy, right? Like, but now it's like every single week they're getting to the quarterback. They can get to the quarterback multiple times, like they did against Tampa Bay. And I get that, to be fair to the reality of the situation, Hutch is going against a bunch of bums. No disrespect, but either way, the defense has been really impressive, and it's what won us this game, frankly. The offense did struggle. However, I feel a lot better actually about the offense than I think a lot of Lions fans might. Because, for one, 2 for 2 in the red zone. You got 3 touchdowns in the first quarter or in the first half, and then you said, you know what? Try and beat us. Try and beat us because we scored 20 points, and that's all we need. That's all we need because you're not getting to 20. And if you do get to 20, it's going to be in overtime, and then we're going to win like we did in LA, right? Because you're not scoring more than 20 points on this defense. So are we going to drop 40 bombs on teams? Yeah, we probably will at some point. Is it going to be every week? No. Are we going to drop 30 bombs on teams? Yeah. Is it going to be every week? Probably not. Guess what? With this defense, you don't have to because try to score in the end zone. Oops, you threw an interception to Kirby Joseph. Try to go for it on 4th down. Oops, Carlton Davis just stopped you a yard short. Try to run a trick play. Not going to happen. Try to run the ball to control the clock. You're not going anywhere. It's going to be it's going to be 3rd and 5 at the most, or at the least. Like, this defense is legit. And Aiden Hutchinson, credit to him, he's gotten better every season. He's going out right now. I don't know what the betting odds are, but he's got to be the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year right now. I mean, he leads the league in sacks. And by the league, I don't just mean players. I mean, like, teams. Or at least he did going into this week. I don't know if that's still the case. He's got, 6.5 on the year right now? Like, that's crazy, right? We're talking, basically, he's averaging 2 sacks a game. And granted, that's a lot of it is from that Tampa Bay game, but still, the reality is what it is. Now, Jared Goff as well, credit to him. There was a lot of Lions fans oh my gosh, Jared Goff didn't play well. Jared Goff played perfectly fine. First of all, on ESPN, he's got 113 rating, if you value that at all. Jared Goff was 18 for 23, 199 yards, a couple of touchdowns and interception. If that's not good, I'm sorry. Then I stink. I don't like that's solid numbers. Is it, 400 yards? Is he getting you 50 fantasy points? No. But he's accurate. He's hitting his guys. He gave you all you needed, right? He won you the game with the run at the end, by the way. That was also kind of a fun thing. He's not blowing you this game. And again, your defense is good enough that even on that interception, what do they get out of it? They got Stugats. They got nothing. They got nothing but, the ball out of their hands, basically. That was what they got. And was there any particular, David Montgomery had 105 yards on the ground. Great performance from him. Jahmyr Gibbs, 83 yards on the ground. This is when we can run the ball with efficiency and when we score 20-ish points, pretty good shot we win the game. And it doesn't matter if your quarterback is running around like he's a chicken with his head off, like Kyler Murray can do, or if your quarterback is, quick to get rid of the ball like Matthew Stafford was in week 1. All we need to do is get that minuscule amount of points, get a couple of really nice drives in there, really put teams away early. This game, for all intents and purposes, was over at the half because they couldn't move down the field. It reminded me a little bit, actually, of that game against LA, against Las Vegas last year at home, and I was at that game. The offense was really struggling. They were settling for field goals. Drives were stifling out. You had the pick 6. But the problem was Las Vegas couldn't get out of their own way. This was the same deal with Arizona. They could not move down the field. They just couldn't. They couldn't control the run, so they couldn't control the clock. And that was that. So the Lions closed the door on them. And obviously the injuries are what they are. I do have high hopes for, Monday night. I think that, again, that's a game that the Lions probably had circled because for whatever reason, Seattle has had our number for years. And we're going to be wearing our black uniforms in this game. I don't know if that's going to have much of an actual effect, but I'm sure. Basically, point is, they're going to be in their A game. I really don't expect an ugly game on Monday night prime time. Lions usually do perform in these games. I want to say, since 2022, they've had a really good record in primetime games. And if you count a win for that Dallas game, which they absolutely should have had, then it's even better. But yeah, overall, the injuries are what they are. And I did see this comment here. Marcus Davenport, I was born with glass bones, paper skin. Every morning I break my arms, and every afternoon I break my legs. And I wake up with a heart attack. Yeah, unfortunately, Marcus Davenport going down. It sucks. But it tells me that, all right, the experiment failed. We tried it out with Marcus Davenport. Isaac Ukwu should get a chance, according to this comment here. Yeah, honestly, Ukwu, he was like decent in the preseason, I want to say, right? I mean, look, this administration, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they seem to really love their own guys, which is fine. I mean, they've got enough of their own guys to the point where I'm like, okay, you know what? If you like your own guy, fine. I'm good with it. I'm not gonna yell and scream. I'm not gonna throw my hand. I'm not gonna go like a banshee and yell at you for it. I mean, there were people last year who were crying for Chase Young, and well, that didn't quite work out. That didn't quite work out for San Francisco. So, do I expect them to really make moves at the trade deadline to address some of these injuries? I really don't know. We don't have as many assets to trade as I think we might think. But the right price, the right name, certainly I wouldn't be opposed to adding people. I mean, a Max Crosby would certainly be nice opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. Obviously, he's a Eastern Michigan guy, but I think he would love it here. I think he would fit right in. You want to talk about adding like 2 Siberian cave trolls to your defensive line? You got Max Crosby on one end, Aiden Hutchinson on the other. Basically, some guy who really likes cheese and Ritz crackers is gonna destroy you. That was a white people joke, in case you didn't understand. Hard workers, those two. They're real lunch pail guys. But yeah. So either way, I guess I'm not all that concerned, and my focus has moved on to Seattle. So that's it. That's all I got. We're on to Seattle. Monday night, gonna be a good show. So, fun stuff. Hi, it's me again. If you enjoyed what you just saw, hit the like and subscribe button. We do live shows every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there.